there, and welcome to the Ham Brothers Podcast. I'm your humble host, Robert Burnell. With me, as always, is Anthony Kayas.
Hey.
And Matthew Shipway.
Hello.
But forget about us. It's all about our very special guest today, Robbo from Death by Stereo, Kaustik, Rock and Roll Wrestling,
Bash,
and Die by the Sword.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you so much for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, dude. Yeah, like I said before, I wasn't really sure since Kaustik goes back, how long has this been a band now?
I don't know.
You have no idea?
I forgot. But it's definitely, Ryan and I have been doing this forever.
Yeah, so it's I didn't know if I went chronologically with Kaustik.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you.
But I went Death by Stereo. How long have you been in Death by now?
Shit, 2011. So what's the date?
Hell, wow.
Dude, quite a while, huh? 8 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
7?
It feels like 1 or 2 or something like
It
that.
feels like it's only just begun.
How did that all come about? Like, how did
Dude, random turns of events. Being in Kaustik, we were out playing shows and doing all that bit, and we ended up, just hooking up with the Hollywood crowds. We're hanging out there, and someone I knew worked for Danzig, and he had missed the bus, and he goes, "Hey man, you want to give me a ride up to Ventura? Come hang for the show." I'm like, "Fuck, cool." And so we went up there, and one thing led to another, and I met Colin Bias. He plays in Revolution Mother, and they were on that tour at that time, and he goes, "We're from Whittier." I'm like, "Oh shit, me too." He goes, "Hey, we have a Danzig Misfits tribute band, a female fronted one. Dude, how about Kaustik play?" So rad. So we go, and Dan Palmer from Death by Stereo, our guitar player, happened to be in the band, or he's in the band, and so we all start playing shows, and one day I think I just seen Dan fucking, he was raging. So I was like, "Oh, this guy's pretty rad." So I was hanging out, drinking, partying for I guess probably a year or two, and then finally there's a Death by Stereo album on his stove, and I'm like, "Hey man, can I borrow this thing? Check it out." I'd never really paid attention or listened to the band.
Right.
Weird, because they came out. I was in high school and all this, but I was still like, in my dark, I'm a thrasher.
Right. Yeah, I was actually into them then.
Okay, yeah. So you know how it is. Yeah. And anyways, I listened to it and I came back. I'm like, "I'm gonna be in your band." And
It was like that?
I was
So it was
dead
sort of
ass
the opposite of the way it usually happens.
Yeah.
You
I'm like,
came
"I'm
to
gonna be your
him,
band."
like-
Like kicked down the door, and the opportunity came up later on, and I tried out. Hey man, I had to try it like everybody else. I tried out and got the gig.
Well, I was looking at the fucking Wikipedia page for them and for you guys, and there's been a lot of fucking members in this band over the years.
Oh yeah. It's and just like with Kaustik, I mean, it's demanding. It's a lot of touring, and people have families or jobs or opportunities that come up that are better. And I know a lot of I can't name all of them, but a lot of members have moved on to crazy. I mean, just crazy ass. They play in big ass bands and just crazy shit. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, it opens up a lot of doors. But Death by Stereo, it's a machine, man, grinding.
Well, yeah,
And
they've
even
been
right
doing
now,
it for-
everybody's in 1,000 bands. Like we're our own traveling festival if it made it happen.
That'd be dope.
That would be rad if we joke about it, because I think there's shit. I got 3 other ones. I think Dan's got 3 other ones. Ephraim's got 3 other ones.
Oh, right.
Mike's got 3 other.
Dan, what does Dan play in? He also plays in
Zebrahead.
Right. Yeah,
Yep.
That's the one I see the
They
most.
just released an album which is fucking rad.
Really?
I mean, Zebra. It's not the type of like pop or punk. It's not really always been my cup of tea. But it's a fucking cool band. They're good musicians. And dude just got the new album. It's pretty fucking, actually pretty heavy.
What's it called?
I don't. Brain Invaders.
Brain
It's in the
Invaders.
car.
All right. Are they still signed up on somewhere?
I don't know what they're doing, but I know it's doing pretty good. So I mean, I'm stoked from anybody playing any music, making anything, dude. Good for you. I don't give a fuck what you're doing.
Seriously.
Good for you if you're doing it.
Yeah, man. I've long since given up on making any money.
Yeah, it's like, get a job, you bum.
Right.
Or get a job, let you tour. Like I happen to work for GOMC, so I make road cases.
Okay.
And that's the drummer of Zebrahead.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really cool that they let me tour, dude. Like that's like, I have a full-time job at home, and I could just tour, man. Dude, you can't ask for more.
No. A lot of people don't know you worked at the fucking whiskey forever, right?
I'm still on the roster there. I just kind of popped in last month, but I try to get out there more often. I love that place, man. My bros, and it's cool hanging with my friends. And
we would do like security or what?
Doing security, dude. That's how I met a lot of people too. It's just they're like, hey man, you look kind of familiar. I'm like, yeah, I probably threw you out.
I was gonna ask you what's the fucking craziest? What's your best story from the whiskey?
From the whiskey, I think, dude, one of the coolest ones when Black Sabbath got back together.
Oh shit.
And then they're doing that whole, the whole press release, doing a new album and all that.
Right.
And everyone's taking pictures. I remember the whole crew, like everyone's taking pictures with the rest of the band. And Ozzy was like in the first dressing room. It was just him and some other guy. I'm like, hey, Ozzy, can I take a picture with you?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, come here, man. And I took a picture. I'm like, holy shit.
Did you touch
I
it?
fucking took a picture with Ozzy. Holy crap.
Did he touch you, dude?
Huh?
Did he touch you?
No, dude, he put his arm around me.
Oh,
I'm like, fuck, dude. I got a picture at the house. I'm like, yeah, that's
fucking
Above
rad.
your mantle as
Yeah.
a fireplace.
Fucking blessed.
Dude, yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, dude, you met so many people, man, and it's funny is you have a better experience with most of like the big, dude. We're talking like legendary musicians are cool as shit, dude. Lemmy's fuck. The funny one with a Lemmy one was they're doing some crazy all-star jam and it's packed in there, right? And I'm doing the backstage door. And I'm like, who the fuck is smoking in my club? Freaking out. Who the fuck's smoking a cigarette? Screaming. I'm like going around, and it was Lemmy. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh,
never mind.
I'm like, it's cool, And then he's like, oh, sorry, mate, and just put it on the floor. Sorry, dude. But other than that, like, just so many crazy people in there. You're just like, wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. Or, hey, man, I didn't know that guy was that short. Or that chick looks like hell. Like we get to see some really cool
So
people.
you were saying that that you seem to have the better experiences with the bigger,
with the
acts that
bigger
come
acts,
through
yeah.
there.
I mean, there's been some turds in Punch Bowl,
Right.
but generally, I think they're pretty cool. So it trips me out sometimes, man. Some young guys, or even older musicians, and just the attitude, man. It's
Right.
funny, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, dude. Some people come off with some bullshit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, you
man.
think that's coming too tied in with where they're playing at? You know,
Yeah,
what I mean? It's
you
like
know-
they're at the whiskey, so they have some sort of
Yeah, and I get it, man. Like, you work. I know what it's like, so I understand in a sense. But some people are just jackoffs.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
Whatever.
dude. Yeah, like when I used to work at the Glass House, when I was first starting there, I was doing like all the assistant production shit, like all the bitch work, like picking people up from the airport and fucking like getting beer and whatnot before shows. So like, I had to pick up like Reverend Horton Heat. That guy was the fucking nicest guy.
Yeah, it's like
ever.
rad, dude.
Super fucking nice guy.
know.
He was like, he had his guitars with him, and he was like talking about his guitars with me. We were shooting the shit, and he fucking let me play his guitar when we got to the
That's
club
cool.
and shit. And then like, the Insane Clown Posse, those two assholes were total dicks.
Crazy.
From the fucking jump.
You know what's funny about the dude? It's a trip out on this. We had those other Twisted, I think. The other
That's
guys, right?
the other clown
And we're
ones.
like, man, it's all security, and everyone's like, fuck, man, it's gonna get rowdy and blah blah blah. And dude, you can talk all the shit you want about the actual fans, but dude, they're nice. All of them, like this chick fell in the pit and they like stopped and like parted the show, and I'm like, oh man.
Oh, no, that's like
there's nothing bad to say about these guys. I mean, come on, everyone's all nice, helping the chick out.
Yeah.
The young lady, excuse me, and they helped her out, get her water, and I'm like, fuck.
No, those motherfuckers are family.
Yeah, dude, they keep it
Juggalos
together,
fucking
dude.
stick together, dude.
Hey,
Right.
good on them, man. Fuck.
Yeah, no, I can't hate on that shit. I mean, obviously, not a huge fan of the music.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm definitely not be painting my face like that.
Right.
No, but
Yeah, no,
like,
I've heard that a lot of times though. It's like all the fans, the juggalos and everybody, that it is like a community. That
Yeah,
they've
they actually
built,
take care of
and
them,
they take care of each other and shit,
It's
which
a
is
trip.
rad.
Yeah,
you
good
can't-
for them, man.
Yeah, fuck
Well,
yeah.
when you're like us, dude, and you play music for so fucking long and see how fucking difficult it is to build anything.
Oh
really.
yeah, dude.
Dude, you can't disrespect anybody's like what they built.
Exactly. I mean, dude, I've come to the conclusion. I'm like, it's not my cup of tea, man. It ain't for me. Whatever. I don't have to listen
Still
to it.
impressed.
Right.
Still impressed.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. Like, I don't have to. Whatever.
Kudos,
Fuck it.
but
yeah,
none for me.
yeah,
Thank you.
not for me, bud.
Right.
No, I mean, they were just rude to me, and like, who knows? They might have had a shitty flight. You
No,
know,
dude,
would've
you know
fucking-
what? And
But I
that's
tried
the
to smoke
thing.
them out, and they made fun of my weed, and it was fucking good. It wasn't swag. I don't smoke bad shit. It was good fucking weed, but they still made fun of it.
Yeah, you'll be hating. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't do
man.
That. Yeah,
I'm trying to smoke. I'm trying to
yeah,
be cool.
dude. Yeah, I've had really shitty things given to me. I'm like, yeah, thanks, dude.
Right.
Yeah, I don't complain. Dude, a band I just got turned on to this band is Baroness.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
they've been around forever, but I'm like, holy shit! So I'm all blown away by them. And Alon from Kaustik happened to win 4 tickets to House of Blues the other night.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, rad. And then they're playing with, I'm going to fuck this up, Death Heaven, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
I thought it was Death Haven. Fuck, I don't know. I go dumb a lot of times. So anyways, that band blew me away.
Really?
I wouldn't listen to them in the car. or like on at the gym or anything.
Right.
But dude, that guy is one of the craziest frontmans I've seen in a long time.
Oh, really?
I was really stoked to watch.
Oh,
Dude, Baroness's Red album is
Yeah,
a
that's a good
fucking
one.
Dude,
masterpiece.
that band ripping.
Yeah.
It really jumped up there with one of my favorite bands now.
I
Pretty
found
rad.
because they were instrumental for the most part at the beginning, right?
I think so.
Oh, really?
I think like their
Yeah.
first 2 albums were completely instrumental, and so that's how I kind of found them with that whole like,
Russian Circles.
yeah,
Pelican.
exactly.
Okay.
What was it? Who was the other band that's all instrumental that I was? Damn, I haven't listened to them in a really long time.
Yanni?
Yanni. Yeah, that's what it is. No, I'm sorry, Kenny G.
Kenny G.
Kenny G. That was what it was.
I think you mean Laurel.
Dude, so what's your favorite road? Well, I had a couple of these.
Sure.
But since you've been all the fuck over America with Kaustik and Death by now,
Mm-hmm.
so what's your favorite club to play outside?
One of my top ones, because they got a killer sandwich next door, is Reggie's in Chicago.
Really?
Dude, and everyone's rad too. The club, like I played there with DBS and Kaustik a couple of times now, and I'm always excited because they have this Parmesan chicken sandwich next door. And dude, oh man, that thing is ripping. But this club is rad, dude. So it's like there's a mini record store in there too, and there's this whole backstory behind it. I don't really know any of it or remember because everyone always tells me when I walk in there, and I'm like, oh, cool, and then I just forget, But yeah, so they have a record store in there, and then you can walk through a door, and there's like it's like a giant slide bar.
Okay.
So it looks like the front bar of slide bar.
Right.
It's like that, but like bigger. There's a cool stage and big bar and everything, and it's killer food. They always take care of us, and they have a washing machine downstairs, which is a fucking
nice.
godsend, and a
Rare.
shower,
Rare.
hot
Yeah.
shower,
Nice.
dude. It's a godsend. But yeah, that one. There's also, I really forget places, but one place I really had a good time was in Milwaukee,
Okay.
which is interesting, right? They had this really good beer called Spotted Cow, and like there's this whole thing, but you can only get it there, and it was fucking awesome. So
Really?
I will go back to Milwaukee just for the goddamn beer.
Right.
Like if I found a cheap flight there, I'd fly over there just to get beer.
Oh shit.
Holy
It was
shit.
that good. That was,
What kind of beer are we talking?
you know what? I'm not a beer connoisseur. It was just good fucking beer.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, you know the name, so that's enough.
Yeah, just
That's
Spotted
enough,
Cow,
yeah.
man. I was like, fuck it, this stuff's fucking amazing. But yeah, dude, there's man, I'm trying to think of where else. Like Soda Bar in San Diego is fucking awesome. Just everywhere. Well, fuck, it's hard to say, man. Throw me a state. Oh wait. Tucson, Arizona. We have some really cool friends out there, and it's fucking rad, dude. We play with this band Scattered Guts, which is ripping.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it's ripping. Blackledge. I'm trying to remember everybody out there. And then they also have a group like everyone's like girlfriends or the girls have this thing, the Maidens of Metal.
Okay.
And it's rad. I think it's super cool. They come to shows and they support the whole metal scene over there, and they really try to push everybody. Like it's pretty
nice.
awesome what they have going on. And it's always a pleasure going out to Tucson. Always stoked.
Do the ladies play instruments as
You
well?
know what?
or
They like host shows and they do a bunch of crazy shit, man.
Nice.
It's pretty rad. So like they do calendars, like wearing the band shirts and all that.
Right,
They
right.
just really support the whole thing out there, which is cool.
I've always had a theory that like more like rural areas or like just smaller towns, their scenes are better because just the community's tighter.
No,
Right.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like here we're so spread. I mean,
There's too fucking many of us.
dude, it's crazy, man.
30 million of us in
I
this
know.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
I know.
it's insane.
It's awesome.
I always like to point out, it's like, okay, Los Angeles County has like 17 million people living in it, and the state of Montana has 1 million people living in
Yeah.
it. We're crammed the fuck in here, dude.
Yep. Like, what is it? What it used to be? Was it 7 degrees of separation? What was that deal?
6 degrees.
It's not. Does that even exist anymore?
I don't
It
know.
it can't. There's no way. We're not. Right? I was thinking about that the other. Some weird thing I was thinking about. I was like, what if that was still?
It's probably now down to like 3.
Yeah,
3 or
it's got to
4
be 3 or
degrees
1 or
separate,
something like
you know
that.
what I mean? Like it's
Well, you figure if you go on Facebook, like someone has a mutual friend, like how the fuck you know that guy?
right, exactly.
okay.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
well,
little bit more apparent than it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we start counting like Facebook friends who aren't your actual friends, then you're getting really fucking
Yeah, you start getting weird.
connected.
Like, oh yeah, the gas station guy. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know you were homies with the dude that works at my CVS.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
Shit.
that guy's rad, man. He never judges me for what I'm buying.
Yeah. Oh, Gary? Yeah. Fuck yeah. You know Gary? Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude. So when are you guys heading back out?
Death by Stereo. We are. What do we have coming up? I think we have some pockets of shows. We're doing a festival. Man, and everybody listening, forgive me because I fucking forget everything. And it's not a matter of not paying attention. It's just so much shit that I just forget.
Right.
So we're doing a festival out in, I think, Ohio, which is pretty rad. It's like Fear and No Effects and Pennywise, I think, and like just crazy ass bands, of course.
Nice.
Super stoked on that.
Fuck yeah.
But then we have a pocket of shows coming up, which I'll probably look up later. I'm sure I have a text about it.
We don't get any goddamn festival. I look at like Rock on the Range and shit, and I'm just like, why the fuck? Why don't we get this anymore?
Yeah, I know.
Everybody skips LA now because it's like a lot of bands. It's like, dude, look, really skip the Inland Empire or Orange County because it's like if they're gonna play, they do LA and they get the fuck out.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
I'm like, damn it. That was a big problem, for the Glass House at a point in time when it was like trying to book people and they're like, nope, we're doing the fucking whiskey only.
I think it was like too much money. Like there wasn't enough money that they were getting out of, we were demanding too much to have these acts come.
Well, yeah, and then, dude, like you think about it here, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the show, but it's like there's another one down the street. You're like, fuck, I'm gonna miss that.
Right.
And we have even booking shows now. Remember before you're like, oh, I'll skip that day because this band's in town, or But now you just have to do it, and like if there's another band, it is what it is.
Right.
Even the same genre, you just gotta fucking promote the fuck out of it, man.
Yeah, it's like how many times have two of your friends' bands been playing on the same night?
Exactly.
A billion fucking times.
Dude.
And then it's like, what's up, dude? What, you like Robbo better than me? You go see fucking Kaustik instead of my band?
They were like, whatever, bro.
I'm sorry. He got to me first.
Right.
And he's giving me free shirts. I don't know what to tell you. Dude, I swear to God, all my friends' bands' shirts, I rock fucking all the time. I'm still holding on to a Light Up the Eyes shirt, even though that's not a fucking thing anymore.
I played in Light Up the Eyes.
Did you?
Yeah, I did it for, I don't know, a couple months. That was cool, too.
Yeah, I got a fucking tank top of that shit with the choo-choo train on
Yeah,
it.
Choo Choo Train one.
I rocked that shit for days.
Dude, I just love playing bass. Like in Kaustik, I always sang and played bass, right? So I started getting into a habit where I was like, hey, man, if you need a bass player, I'll fucking do it. I don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if you feel this is true, but as a person that plays guitar and sings at the same time as well, do you feel like it's way more energy? Like you sweat a fuckload more when you're singing and playing?
Oh, dude, hell yeah, man.
Yeah, right?
Dude,
Yeah.
It's like that whole like rubbing your stomach and patting your head thing.
Right.
But like, and then entertaining and all this other shit. And
Running around.
dude, it's tough, man. It's a hard thing. I'm glad I learned and like developed it when I was younger. And we did it out of necessity. We just didn't want to deal with another asshole. You know? I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just sing. Or no, I'll just play bass and sing. Fuck it. You know?
Dude, you're an awesome front man. That's what I think makes you such a fucking great addition to Death By is that just your energy alone that you've cultivated is great, and then now you're the fucking you're not even the center of attention all the time. Now you're the bass player, so it's like, oh fuck
it's
yeah,
fun.
This band's off the fucking chain.
I get to do my dance moves that I always want to do. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't have to worry about like losing breath or anything.
Dude, how many albums does fucking Death By have now?
Again, things I forget that I should know.
Oh, that's a lot.
Let me see. That's 2, 3, 4. It's got to be at least 6 or something.
Really?
More than that,
Really?
probably 7. Then there's EPs and there's splits and
Right.
I'm currently recording the bass tracks on the brand new one. It's my first LP with Death by Stereo.
Nice.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. The first one we did a couple covers and this, that, and the other, and then we did an EP, which was awesome. I was stoked, and I get to record with Paul Miners, the original bass player.
Fuck
So it's cool that like producing it with him. I'm like, hey Paul, does this sound cool?
Right.
Or I'll listen to old Death by Stereo stuff just to kind of get the jive in there. Right. And then when I started really like getting into the process of writing the bass lines for it, I started listening to a lot of Descendants, which I didn't have I wasn't really cultured in the punk scene because when I was growing up, it was like, oh, you don't have spikes, you can't look at it. Right. You can't listen to punk, man. Yeah. You don't know what punk is, And so I kind of there's good and bad side of that. There's some people that made it feel like it wasn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't listen to it.
Right.
But then
excluded.
I had my bros like my buddy Chicken.
Shout out to Chicken.
Brian McDonald. Hopefully I'm saying your nickname right, but he was like, he'd be hanging out, we'd be drinking, and he'd like be singing G.G. Allen songs and shit. Like, what the fuck is this? He's like, oh, this is G.G. Allen. Like, show me different things and like talk to me about different music. I'm like, whoa, cool, you know. And then it kind of like opened my eyes up to that stuff, you know.
Right.
That's so funny because I'm the opposite. I started out punk and then went to metal and felt the same exact thing from like metalheads.
Yeah.
Like I so fucking dumb. Like I had like, you know, big fuck off Liberty Spikes, bondage pants and all that shit. My friend first fucking like hardcore show, it was in San Bernardino. It was Earth Crisis and Madball.
Oh, yeah, fucking love Madball.
Right? Yeah. But I'm thinking like, okay, literally in my mind I was thinking, okay, metal is heavier than punk. So these guys got to be dressed even fucking crazier than I am.
Yeah.
Right? And I put all my fucking gear on, and it was just like a bunch of fucking like just
Right,
Fred Perry
t-shirts
hardcore kids.
Yeah,
you know,
hardcore
like,
dudes.
but like collared shirts and shit, and everyone was looking at me like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Did you get lost?
Yeah, I seriously was standing in the back like, I am fucking leaving.
You know, hardcore has been really, really good to me. And that was another thing that I just wasn't familiar with, because in Orange County, our hardcore was a little different than like the East Coast hardcore,
Right,
dude.
yeah.
I mean, as far as the experience I had, you know, they talk about Hoagie Barmichaels when we were
yeah.
younger,
Yep.
and like I walked in there and I seen dudes with like Pat Benatar hair, and they're like, what,
Right.
and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But but it was like that whole emo thing, and like as a kid, I didn't get it. I did not get the hardcore dancing. I just didn't
Yeah.
understand it. I'm like, why did I just get kicked in the fucking face?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, hey man, I'm gonna fucking fight this dude.
Yeah.
Fuck this
Yeah,
shit.
oh, yeah.
And now with Death by Stereo, I've been fully cultured in just the whole thing, and it's awesome, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone is just about each other and the music, and like we go, even touring and going to different countries, and people are just like, hey, open arms, fucking
Yeah.
take care of you, and kicking ass.
I was gonna ask you too. What European country loves Death by Stereo the most?
As far as everybody, because we're gonna be there in June. Because
They
I
all
love
do.
you.
Good
We
answer.
love you.
It's a politician's answer.
Yeah, exactly. We love you.
Love all of the European Union.
Absolutely, I do. I honestly am in love with Europe.
Me too. I fucking love
Isn't
it.
it the coolest place?
Yeah.
I have a blast in Germany. Our German fans are fucking awesome, dude. And that doesn't go. You know, that's not just saying it for everybody there, man. They really treat us well, and just making sure you're all right. They know we're far from home, and they
Right.
really support the band going. And the band's been going there a lot long. You know, well before I was in the band.
Right.
And it's fucking cool, man. It's super cool.
If you need a tech, dude, I'll
I know,
definitely
trust
fucking
me.
hide in your case.
I wish, man. I wish I could bring everybody.
Yeah.
I know.
Dude, it's so rad over there.
And you've gone with Kaustik over there too. You guys were touring.
No,
with,
we have not yet.
Oh no.
That dude. As soon as when we get to it, finding a new drummer. I think hopefully that's my next set goal is to get us over there.
Okay.
I think it'll be.
I'm sorry. I swear I thought you guys were doing with DRI because you guys were touring with DRI, right?
Yeah,
And
you know
then-
what? And
was that
that's
not-
another
that
band
wasn't
that
international?
really took us under their wing, and it's super cool. And they're our bros now, and yeah, we've done I think 4 with DRI.
Okay.
Regional ones like 2 weeks.
I was
Okay.
fucking. That was the first because DRI was important to me.
Dude, it's important to the freaking scene of
Oh,
yeah.
music, of crossover thrash, and they're important to a lot of things.
Yeah,
Like
fuck
DRI,
yeah.
man, shit.
Well, the album dealing with it in particular,
Yeah.
like fucked my world up when I was like 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that was the first time I was ever like, dude, I got that jealous fucking. Damn it.
Right.
Oh, man, Kaustik's going out with DRI. Fuck. And then I'm like, oh, dude, bro, so happy for you, man.
Yeah,
That's
you
fucking
motherfucker.
beautiful.
Dude, those guys are so fucking cool, man. Like it's cool, like and they really push us, even just push everything about us. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Do they,
It's awesome to
do they
have that.
fucking party still?
Oh no, dude, that's more on our end now.
Okay.
They've definitely went hard, man.
Yeah.
And it takes about a couple tours till you really start hearing the stories. You're like, whoa, shit.
Right.
Things I won't obviously won't repeat, but
Right.
dude, you start hearing them, and that's the cool thing, dude. When you're like, hey man, like what was it like? Fucking with Metallica playing these clubs and like our Slayer or some shit, and like you start hearing that, you're like fucking crazy, dude. You're talking about obviously iconic bands that play arenas now,
Right.
And biggest bands in the world, and it's like, and they just talk to you, oh yeah, I remember that, yeah, blah blah blah, and like it's trip out, dude. It's
Dude,
cool.
I had like a fucking psychedelic experience when fucking John from Rourke got us up for Metallica for that Big Four.
Oh,
we
dude.
we stood on stage, and it was 40,000.
Yeah.
So I've never been in front of a crowd of 40,000.
Right.
Above it, so you can actually see its depth and shit. And
It's wild.
when he had everyone chanting "die."
Yeah.
I in my head I was like, if this fool fucking said we're gonna take Palm Springs right now,
Yeah.
he could fucking do it.
Oh yeah, dude,
That's
and
a
I
literal
would.
army.
I was in the crowd, and I would have done it. I'm like, no
do
problem.
it.
No problem, Papa Hat, dude. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, we're taking it. We're gonna move on to fucking Desert Hot Springs.
Case in point, when we saw Slipknot at the Forum, and they were doing the whole spit it out thing.
I was
where
there.
Oh, you were?
I was there. That was with. Were you with the one with
System of a Down
Yeah,
and
Rammstein.
Rammstein, yeah.
Dude, the whole fucking
Yes.
top.
Yeah, he goes, all right, on this next fucking song, I want everybody to get on the fucking ground.
Yeah,
He
because
meant
they do
on
that. They
the
do
ground.
that. Yeah, kneel down, and then at the point in that song, everyone. jumps
Everybody
up at
at
the
the-
same
Remember when
time.
he
Everyone took it as run
Jump
down
from
the
the
thing.
top. Yeah.
Dude, check this out. So we're with the big boys, all the football dudes, all our bros, the big hunk, 300-pounders. This kid rolls. I remember when everyone's going down. We're pretty close to where the pit was, up
Okay.
in that the first seats.
Were you? Oh, you were
yeah,
on. You were
yeah,
on
right
the
in the
thing? Okay.
seats. So this guy goes, "Hey man, this dude, little dude, you guys motherfucking thrashers!" Like, hell yeah, dude. He socked the fucking security guard, full blown socked this motherfucker.
Oh, I probably saw
Dude,
that. Yeah.
We run down. My buddy Galen. This dude is, I don't know, 6-something. Everybody's 6-something because I'm 5'8". So,
Right.
I mean, they could be fucking 10 feet tall for all I know. But this motherfucker's about 300 pounds at the time. And he probably still is. I love you, Galen. He jumped
Oh shit.
into the pit. So we're both in the pit. He goes, fuck, I lost my shoe. We go around the whole arena. And I'm like barely touching the ground. He goes, there's my shoe. Caught the fucking shoe on the other side. Dead ass. I had never witnessed anything like it. Caught the fucking shoe. Just had to tell that one real quick.
Oh,
Fucking
dude,
ripping.
dude, that's.
I ran down because we were in nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Because originally we found out later we were given silks, right? We were high school fucking. We didn't know what the fuck. Everybody in the arena were asking, "Hey, what are these for?" Nobody.
Well,
knew.
see, we were fucking
Oh,
dumb.
you guys had to have
Yeah,
the
we had
stickers?
the-
we had the tour silks because Westy, who used to run the Glass House, you know, when I worked there doing sound, he was my boss. He was the production manager there, and he happened to be the production manager on that tour, like later, right? And so I was like, "Oh, dude, we love Slipknot. Can you hook us up?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So at the door there were silks and tickets, right? Seats. The seats were fucking bleeds, like literal last row.
literal,
Yeah.
literally the fucking.
And
second
we're
to last.
sitting there asking the fucking venue staff,
Yeah, the yeah.
like the yellow shirt venue
what
staff.
did-
Yeah.
what did
What are
these
these
do?
for? Dude,
One-
no
one-
clue.
One
Yeah.
of the guys told us, he goes, I think it's for an after party. He's like, you go outside when the show's over, and there should be a tent set up, and you can go there. And we're like,
Oh, okay.
okay,
Sure.
cool. So we're watching the show
Son of a
right from the
bitch.
bleeds, and then that thing that happens. I run down because I'm like, fuck yeah, like let's go see what's going down. I get to the rail and see the drop, and I'm like, oh no, never mind.
Yeah, it was
Like,
like 10 feet.
I'm not gonna
10, 12
destroy
feet.
my knees.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you see people punching the security guards.
Dude,
it
that was fucking chaos,
madness.
dude.
It was
How
incredible.
crazy was that?
Yeah, that was
Dude, they
fucking
had the
crazy.
big 666 on
Oh,
the
yeah.
Rammstein kicked ass and well, everybody it slipped
yeah,
out.
it was a great show.
We showed up just as Rammstein was still playing. Like I think they were like finishing, and so we caught System and Slipknot because that was right after Iowa. Came
Yeah.
out. So that was the Iowa tour. That
God,
shit
fucking
was
that album is
fucking-
so ripping.
Oh my
Still to
God.
this day.
Dude,
But
it
yeah,
is.
So, I mean, I'm a huge fucking Slipknot fan. I have the S on my fucking calf.
Awesome.
Like, I'm dying.
Dude, I'm
hard,
all about
right?
it too, baby.
So to find
Love it.
out the next day, fucking the other guy that was with us, Kenny, he calls me that next morning. It's like, hey, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. Sick show last night, right? I'm like, dude, fucking amazing. Right?
That's
Blah,
awesome.
Blah, blah. And he goes, yeah, so you remember those little silks, the little things that we had there? And I was like, yeah. I was awake, you know. And he's all, turns out those were all access passes. He goes, we could have been on the stage for Slipknot. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to go kill myself now. And I just hung up the phone, went back to sleep.
Well, dude, like
fuck.
Westy, the guy who hooked it up, fucking calls me the next day and he goes, "What the fuck, man? Where were you?" And I was like, "Oh, it was a great show. Well, I was there. It was awesome." He's like, "Dude, I didn't fucking see you backstage. You didn't come say hi. What the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh, nah, man. We just wanted to watch it from
We just
the
went
crowd,
there."
you know." Fuck. Oh, dude. But, fucking right before Iowa comes out, they played the fucking Glass House. A lot of people don't remember that they.
Oh,
played
I
the
don't
Glass
I
House
don't
once.
even I didn't even know they did.
I was like,
I knew.
Were you there?
yeah, I was doing production.
That's crazy. What was that show?
Dude, the call time was 7 a.m.
Really?
They
To
tw-
set up all the shit?
They tore our stage out. They put in their own PA. They had brought their own generator in the alley for all the lights and shit they were
Wow.
using. because they were already too big for the club. It sold
Well,
out
they're
like in
it's
seconds.
9 dudes. They're all
Yeah.
And it was
they're big
no, I mean,
those clubs.
no, like the band at
Right,
that
yeah,
time
yeah.
was it was just before I think like Iowa came out the next week, right? It was like a prep show for the tour. They played the fucking Glass House, and I wasn't even a fucking fan yet, but I stood on that stage.
No, I think it was. I think it was a little bit before that.
To
I
me,
think
that's
it was,
crazy,
you
dude.
know.
That's crazy. That's like an experience, right? To watch a band like that, like when Kiss played the Whiskey. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make it out there.
Right.
But everyone's like, yeah, "Who the fuck? When are you going to see Kiss play the Whiskey again?"
Right.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. You know,
Yeah.
seeing shit like that to me, like is
I think
Dude,
I remember specifically. I was working and I knew that he was there, and he comes back with nothing but horror stories because he had to do all the work.
Oh,
I
yeah,
had
he
to
had
work
to
so
deal with it,
hard.
dude.
by the time they actually hit the stage at like 11, I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah, I believe it, dude.
Yeah.
A production like that in a
yeah.
place like that.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like watching it with like like I was like 3 feet from the fucking clown. I was just watching it with like amazement, like a blank stare because I was just so tired. I'm like, what the fuck? And they once they put the fucking shit on, they're in character,
Oh yeah, I'm
right?
sure.
So they like earlier in the day they were talking with the crew and all that shit. As soon as they put the shit on, they were like mean mugging in the like one of them walked up to me and like got my face as they were coming on the stage. Because they're like in fucking character.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, who the fuck's this motherfucker? Now I know, like, oh, I should have just been like, thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate your stares.
Thank you for getting my face, Slipknot. Fuck yeah. That's probably Slipknot and Tool are probably the two bands I've seen the most.
I never got into Tool.
No.
Hey, I know they're fucking rad. And
It's Alon's favorite band, he says.
I know.
Claims.
I know. Some things just don't like. I don't know if I'm like a product of my environment,
Right.
but I think a lot of things like now I think I'm opening up. I could probably come around and start listening to it. I've been
Now
doing
that they're
since-
coming to an end of their
Yeah,
career
probably.
almost.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm just I don't know what it is. Like it was always just like fucking craziness, and I think that's just like I said.
The imagery fucking shocked me at first. Like, this guy had like to approach me with the music only. Because I remember being a kid and seeing like
the Sober videos.
the Sober videos.
Because that's what got me. It was the video for Sober.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
dude, what
Like
the
MTV
fuck
at
is
like
this?
fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is this? But I wanted to know more. Obviously, like that's how twisted my fucking head was.
Yeah,
I
you know.
was like, what is this shit?
I thought the first one I ever saw
Curious minds.
was Prison Sex. And I
Okay.
remember watching that and being like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this band about, dude?
I don't think the shock value wasn't there for me. Like I just don't know. I just did not listen to him. It's just one of those things, man. But I didn't have like a how would I put this? Like I wasn't really open to the world. Like I lived with my grandparents,
Right.
and like at the time they didn't want they thank God they take care of me and well my parents too. But I lived with my grandparents, so we didn't have like internet or cable.
Right.
So a lot of things I was just like I'd watch PBS.
Right.
Like or just do old people things. So like a lot of music I wasn't really turned on to like
Right.
really early. Or
Right.
early, young teenager or anything. It was just like Metallica and Slayer.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
which were my neighbors. They'd see me cruise around like riding my bike in Metallica shirt and oh dude, you ever heard of Slayer? I'm like, oh what?
Right.
Yeah, I was like, no, I haven't. And they're, here you go. And then it was like first album I got was Rain and Blood. I'm like, holy fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it started
So,
then
so is that kind of where you started? Is like the thrash and like the heavier like the
yeah,
metal stuff, like-
the big thrash bands. And then my neighbor, he's like a Rasta dude, white Rasta dude, long ass dreads and
Yeah.
shit. And he goes, dude, you ever heard of Bad Brains? I'm
Right.
like, no. And he gave me a whole, when you could put like a billion song CD deal. Or whatever.
Oh,
I
right,
still
right.
don't know what it's called. But anyways, he had it to me and I was like, wow, this is fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
And then from there it started really like, oh man, there's other shit out there, other than Metallica.
Right.
my first two that drew me in, planted the seed, were Operation Ivy and the Vandals.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, so I went down like a punk path
Uh-huh.
all the way up until like DRI. Like I got into punk DRI and they pulled me in to thrash
Yeah.
and metal. That's literally how I got there.
That's
Right.
crazy. See, like with punk for me, like I first started with my buddy Andrew Hymas. He played drums for Fear for a long time, and it was like weird, like again, weird turn of events. My buddy got a job at this phone place, and then I got a job there. Because that's what you do. You ask buddies for jobs, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Very Hispanic of me. Hey man, who's hiring? So then from there, like we started working there, and then they're like, oh, our buddy, we grew up. However, in East Los, Andrew, he has this recording studio, so of course get Kaustik over there, and the guy his name's John. His son played. Dude, kid was 13 in our band, shredding. Now he's a phenomenal player. He plays with everybody, session dude and all that shit. But so Andrew was teaching him drums. So we just started recording there, and then I'm like, man, what band? Who is this guy? What's Fear?
Right.
What is this stuff? And they start showing. I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. And then that opened up more to that punk element
Right.
of life. Going in like trying to find all that stuff now. So it's pretty cool.
Do you feel like this happens to bands sometimes, and I don't know if it's a conscious thing, but bands that tour a lot end up fucking gravitating towards each other musically.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I'm sure.
You throwing some more punk rock into that Kaustik. Shit.
Oh me? Oh yeah, definitely.
'Cause of the
And that happens. Like goes to show. Like for instance, my first European tour with Death by Star was with Agnostic Front.
Oh, nice.
Now I didn't know too much about Agnostic Front. I didn't even know they sang, from the East Coast to the West. I didn't even know they sang that was their song. Like
Right.
I said, I was pretty oblivious to it. I don't know. That's just whatever. That's just where I came from. That's
Right,
how it is.
right.
And I'm like, holy shit, this is a band. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm watching them every night. I'm like, man, this is fucking awesome. Like this is so cool. And I became such a big fan. And I'm like, oh my god. And they're rad as shit, man. They're
Well,
cool. They're cool as
your
shit.
first exposure to it was to them live.
Yeah,
which is,
exactly.
I think
Yeah.
one of a better way to get really introduced to a band is seeing them live.
Absolutely.
Like, because then you get obviously an idea of what they are musically, but what they do out there, like what they can do live. And
Not
shit.
to mention
absolutely.
every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, and we ended up we did Europe, and then we came home, and I believe we went straight to Canada after together. I think it was like a couple weeks or something like that. I think it was a while ago. Million bottles of whiskey ago, so I kind of forget. But yeah, and opened it up to Madball, and opened up to all these bands, especially being in DBS because that's our scene. That's who we play with a lot.
Right.
So I'm like, fucking Madball, holy shit, what the fuck's this? This is
Right.
crazy.
Oh,
Because I was only turned on I only knew about Hatebreed.
Right.
Which Hatebreed, fuck yeah, Hatebreed.
Yeah.
And so, but then there's this whole thing under the, with them, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy, all these bands, man, it's nuts.
Yeah, it was just like a fundamental difference of like definition between West Coast and East Coast hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
Like East Coast hardcore, I would have at the time been like, oh, this is just faster punk.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Gorilla Biscuits.
Yeah,
Right.
I was fucking huge into Gorilla Biscuits. Love that shit.
they're awesome. Did we play with? I think we did.
Yeah, you probably did.
I think we did.
Fucking everybody at this.
Oh, sorry. I think so. I'm like, I think so. We did a fest where DBS. We did the whole Inside Out record. Are you familiar with that?
Okay.
Zach Del Rocha's first band.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, that was cool, man.
No
That-
spiritual
I-
surrender,
it's-
dude.
no, exactly. Exactly. I was so and that was again another album I'd never heard. So I was like, okay, I'll learn this. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, man, this is fucking awesome, dude. And it was fun as shit to play. It was
only
so
like
fun.
6 songs or
Yeah.
some shit like that.
Only
whole
6
thing.
songs, yep.
Oh,
Yep.
So good.
It was cool, man.
Dude, the cab that I play off now came from this dude named Jeff who was in Statue and Chain of Strength.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that cabinet I play on to Celestion, it fucking toured.
That's
with,
rad.
Toured with fucking Statue.
It's got the juju in it.
It's fucking old. As
Yep,
fuck,
it's
dude.
got the juju. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's got the original speakers too. It's as
Really?
old as I am.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
dude. They don't make them like they used to.
I know. You can tell a cab how fucking heavy it is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Shit.
Beast of Doom. Like I just moved to a 610, and I got a killer deal on it. Kid out in up north, Ventura, a little bit past. Anyway, yeah, Ventura. I found it on OfferUp, and it's a crazy deal, dude. I couldn't, and I really needed a rig, so I went up there and got it. Super rad, dude. And now I have a 610 that's like heavier than my 810.
It's weird.
It's
how
fucking
that-
weird, man. But stoked because it's like this, it's
yeah, it's
like
the
this
way.
tall. They don't got that big old fridge anymore.
Right.
My back's saying things. I'm sure everybody else is too.
Yeah.
Like fuck, we don't got to deal with that when I
Right.
disappear.
You guys want to help me? Want to help me move
Yeah.
this? And then-
All of a sudden, there's no one there. Like, what?
Well, it's legendary that drummers have it the worst, followed by bass players.
Hey,
all
should have
the way.
sang then.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, don't bitch about your shit, man. You know what I mean? Hey, God bless you, drummers. But man,
Yeah,
don't
play,
bitch.
Play a 3-piece, bitch.
Yep.
Stop having so many rack toms. You won't have so many
Everybody told you
cases.
to have all those symbols.
Yeah. Hey, whatever, man. Should have sang. I should have too. I should have just sang. I didn't deal with any of this shit.
So you're such an asshole. You never use that splash. You
Yeah.
never use that splash. Why you put it up
So that
every
one
fucking
time,
night?
that one song, that's with the 2 hits. Yeah.
Son of a bitch. He's gonna throw it in the record just to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I put this triangle on my kit just to do this.
Ping.
Yeah, shit, dude. What head are you playing off right now?
Ampeg SVT3 Pro. I had the I still have the PV Mini Mega, which was pretty cool too. And when we go out with DRI, they just use our gear.
Yeah.
Right. So that's part of the deal and all that, which is fucking easy for me. I just unplug and walk off, which is kind of nice. I get to unwind, then I'll
Chill. Then
yeah.
unload.
And dude, that little motherfucker pumped it, dude. I took it to did I take it to Australia? Australia. You know, I took it to Europe. Threw it in my backpack. Dude, it's as big as it looks like a little like a VCR. Fuck that, dude. Threw it in the backpack, boom. Thing was bad as fuck. Nice. Now I got this whole rack situation and all that, which I kind of I need to grow up and get. Really, it's about time. 34. Been playing for 20 years. I probably get something good.
I mean, personally, I would have got that right when I joined Death by Stereo, but we're different guys, dude. It's
dude, when I joined the band, I've had a pretty interesting life up to that point. Like I was, I was fucking poor. I was in pretty bad shape, and actually, and I'm actually proud of this as well. I had to sign up for fucking dude. I was gonna get food stamps, man. Right. I was like, fuck. I was broke down.
Yeah, I've been there too, man.
Like,
I had them before.
And that day, I got the letter. I got the job at the whiskey.
Nice.
Dude, cool, huh?
Yeah.
So I threw away the letter because I always felt bad. I'm like, I don't want to be taken away from some kid,
right?
Or maybe there's a family that obviously there's a family that needs it. Like I'll make it. I'm fat. I can live for like at least 3 weeks without food. Right. That's enough body. And then from there, playing and just working at the whiskey and I'm very, very fortunate for the Magliari family for giving me that chance, and Tisa and everyone for fucking hooking it up because we'd been playing there for so long, and it was just kind of like I don't even know where the idea popped up, but I was like, fuck, dude, I got to look for a job, dude. I got to ask somebody, and this is pre-Death by Stereo, and then when I got the chance to join DBS, it was pretty much on, and unfortunately, like I basically had to quit because it was just I was gone too much, right? It's just like I was gone for almost a solid year, and then from there I just. It just got too tough. So they just basically they'll call me if a big show or a crazy ass death metal show.
Right.
Those are fun, dude. Like holding back the pit, like having one leg on the stairs and like the rest of your body. I've had the best times working at the whiskey. Everyone there is super rad. We're all real close knit family and dude and then you get to know I get to see kids grow up. Like kids at like 15 that would be all getting all fucked up down the street. And I'm like, dude. What the fuck, man? How many times we got to tell you? Stop being a dick. Right. Or like, dude, you're going to get thrown out, man. Like, come on. Yeah. Like, just do. I'm like, fuck it. All right. And then,
I warned you.
And then you see them now, they're like in their 20s and shit. They're like, hey, how you doing, man? Like, you get your shit together. Yeah, cool.
No, not really, man.
Or I'll see people when we play shows, especially with Kaustik. Like, I usually have my hair up in a hat. Yeah. And they can't tell, but like people look at me like, I know you, motherfucker. You look like at the shows, at my shows or whatever show I'm at, they're like, yeah, I'm fucking you.
Dude, don't feel bad. I didn't buy a legitimate head. I bought like a bunch of like run of the mill low end heads until maybe like 4 years ago.
Yeah, dude, I had one where it was like I remember at one point I played out of a practice amp I took apart and put it onto a car speaker.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it had distortion and everything. I was like, dude, hey, fuck, gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Probably had sound like a good tone, actually.
It was pretty bassy.
That's good for like a sleep type.
It was
band.
like Pioneer speakers. Right,
yeah, homeboy here was fucking homeless for a while, for a minute, for a second. Yeah.
Dude,
he fought. He knows all about fighting.
He fought the good fight, baby. I mean,
that's right.
I've really and this is not going without saying, like I have really good friends and really good family and everything, but there's a point to where it's like, dude, you gotta fucking figure it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and, no, I mean, I was crashing on this dude's couch for like during the week, and then I would find either somebody else's place to crash in during the weekend, or I was just on the street. Like I would just stay on the street. I had my bag like with all my shit and walk around and freaking trying to find a place to chill as long as possible. Yeah. And then it got to the point to where like everyone was kind of like, all right, like we can't, because to my credit, I wasn't really doing anything to, try and change my situation, and everyone was kind of like, all right, we got to kind of
cut you off.
Yeah, wash your hands, for now, and then I was living in a hotel. I would work odd jobs, at the time, because I didn't have a job either at the time, so that was even worse.
You have to hustle, dude. Yeah,
dude, he was fucking crashing in probably the shadiest motel I've ever seen.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
the cheapest one you can find.
Like Motel 2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Motel 2.5. dude. But you know, like the kind of shit fucking makes you appreciate things.
Oh
Yeah.
It'll make you
absolutely.
appreciate motherfucking hot meal for sure. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I know how. You know. It, fortunately for me, I'd never had to get to. I was almost there though. I was like,
Right.
fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, it was brutal, dude. But like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that progression, you know, pushed me onto other things and like really made me look at my life. Like, what do I want to do? Do I really want to take this shit seriously? Do I really
Right.
want to do this? And you know, and yeah, so there I was.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Yeah, man. It was a kind of an awakening for me to see to come to the realization when I started having friends that were actually doing well in the sense of like getting on big tours and stuff like that. And I always had the the image in my head like at that point, oh, you'll be making money, right? You don't need to have a fucking job when you come back off tour. Like, no, fucking bands that are way bigger than you think
Yeah.
need way fucking
Oh,
bigger
yeah.
than
Yeah.
you think
Oh,
need
yeah.
day jobs to still make ends meet.
Especially if you're here. You're in California, it's expensive. New York,
yeah.
you know, places like that. Like these places it's very expensive to live here. And you have to drive. I mean, there's some places you can live and you don't have to deal with a car, or gas, part, all that other shit. Like we have to deal with all those things. And yeah, you'd be surprised. I know quite a few people that have day jobs, but I think it's good. Like even if I didn't have to work, I probably would work. I'd do something else constructive though.
Right.
You know, I'd have a business or some type of business because you got to keep yourself grounded, man.
Yeah.
Imagine just being able
stay
to
humble.
fucking get wasted every day because that's
Right.
where your problems start fucking happening
Yep.
for sure. You know,
Oh yeah.
probably keep your hands, keep your mind busy for sure.
Yep.
Because I mean, you know, obviously it's pretty obvious. You know, the stories we all know about, like with everyone, it gets pretty damn dark.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Idle hands. What's
yeah,
the saying?
idle hands.
Exactly.
If you weren't playing music, what do you think you'd be doing?
Dude, I've been thinking about this. 34-year-old me, if I were to go back in time and talk to myself, I'd say be a dentist
Okay.
Oh,
or
no
a
shit.
mechanic, because they'll fucking dentist.
Right.
You know how much money they make, motherfuckers?
Tons.
Fucking $1,000 tooth and shit. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Now, I honestly, I think, I really think I would have been in the military,
Oh really?
something like that, or some type of public service. I don't know, like not necessarily like a police officer or anything, but just like a public service.
Do you
of some
have
sort.
Do you have any family that
Yeah,
were in the military?
yes,
Or?
I do.
Okay.
Actually, my grandfather's in Korea. My cousin Lewis. I'm not too familiar 100% with what Middle East stuff.
Right.
He's gone now, but
Oh sure.
yeah, it's all good. You know, he fought for us and shit. I have another Air Force. We have quite a few in our family.
Okay.
So,
you have the history.
Yeah, I had the history,
Okay.
so it was like, especially with my cousin Lou, like we all looked up. So like when you joined the Marines, I was like, "Fucking rad!"
Right.
Like this badass. So you hear the stories and you come back, you're like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking
Right.
you know." And it was just one of those things. It just never came together. You know.
Right. Did
So-
you ever feel like pressure or anything? Like
No,
because
no
of-
one. And
No?
that's the weird thing about my family. There was no pressure to do anything.
Okay.
There wasn't a pressure to be something or be what some things were a little rough. My parents are divorced, hence why I lived with my grandparents. And there's just a lot of weird things growing up, and that's really one of the big reasons why I played music. I got stuck in a guitar class in high school, La Mirada High. I was pissed. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with that, man? Give me like a welding class or something so I can figure something out. And they're just like, we're not letting you out. Okay, fuck it, I'll deal with it.
Of the
So I-
guitar class.
Of the guitar class, they refused.
So you might owe your entire musical career
To
to
La Mirada High, and then to that one counselor, Mr. Corzin. Yeah. I was bitching, so I go in there, and Ryan was in there. Ryan Burrows,
shit.
my
Okay.
my best friend and my guitar player in Kaustik,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, and we played football, so it was like freshman year. We played football together, and he's like, dude, just hang out. And then my buddy Justin Campos, he was also in Kaustik, like the first when Xavier sang, when that
Oh,
whole
okay,
different-
yeah.
ripping guitar player. He goes, hey Rob, just hang out, man. Fuck it. So fuck it. All right. So we were playing guitar and shit, and then I figured out Ryan lived really close to me, so we started hanging out all the time, fucking playing. He's like, hey dude, check out this band Pennywise. I'm like, huh?
Right.
Fuck, okay. I'm like, and now I was like, there's no solos or anything. But then, and then I'm like, this is me as a kid. And then, obviously you grow up and you're like, fucking rad, fucking
Right.
Pennywise. Fuck yeah. But, yeah, and then it started progressing. His dad's a music teacher, and he picked us up like sophomore year, and he goes, hey man, you should probably play bass. I'm like, why? He's like, guitar players are a dime a dozen, man.
Right.
Hard to find a bass player. So I asked my mom for a bass. Boom.
Nice.
Bass.
Fuck, what was the first album you ever learned front to back?
Front to back. Let me think. I you know what? I started learning songs. I never sat down and listened to a fucking album. I was like, I just discovered tabs. Dude, I'm like, I was like, dude, no internet, no, like I said, I was just like, huh? So people getting printed out. I broke my foot actually my sophomore year, I dislocated my leg at Van Skate Park riding my bike. I was too fat to fly, and my teacher, my math teacher, Mr. Strauss, printed out a whole stack of tabs for me to learn. So I sat there and learned everything. I was like, it was like anything from Metallica and Guns N' Roses, like, I think a couple Van Halen songs. Like, it's hard to remember now, but yeah. So yeah, a lot revolves around that high school,
right?
You know,
and then breaking your foot too. Then,
breaking my foot and really like, because you know I had aspirations. I was like, yeah, man, maybe I'll be a pro BMX guy, and it was cool. Like in Whittier, there's fucking everybody. A lot of our friends rode bikes, and like a lot of cool people were from there, like Freddie Chulo and Rooftop and all that stuff.
Right.
You see these dudes get fucking gnarly, like, rad, I want to do that. And I'm too fat, and I broke my foot.
That's why I wanted to skateboard, and I tried for a little while until I realized like gravity was very fucking much against me.
Yeah. Yep. Too fat to fly. Just play rock and roll.
Yeah. You can be as fat as you want and play rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Nobody gives a shit. Like, dude, the drummer for the Descendants was a big fat dude.
He was a
pleasantly plump.
Pleasantly plump man. Dude, as a member of the chunky community.
Are you taking offense to that? Sorry, bro.
The PC.
No,
whatever, skinny.
No, he's a fucking amazing drummer.
Ripping drummer. Of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
I saw
Stop.
I think I saw him with All.
Dude, that's a dude.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
I saw him with All at the Glass House, and I was doing monitors actually. And what tripped me out about his drumming is that like he never moved his elbows. Like it was all wrist. You know, like yeah, and everything was real tight in. You know, like
he's dealing cards.
Yeah.
Dude, I call him card dealer. Yeah, you know, like the thrash guys are like this.
rolls.
And like, dude, just all the sweat was flying off his elbows.
That's why he didn't want to move the elbows.
Yeah,
It's the reservoir. It's the fucking
It's the rain gutter.
Some type of lubrication of some sort.
Oh, dude. Sometimes you get off stage, or like you'll be getting off stage, and you're like looking at the ground, and you're like, oh god, I feel so bad for whoever cleans this fucking place.
Oh yeah.
Like your blood and sweat. And
Oh yeah, spit, boogers, the whole nine. Dude, I've had some weird fluids come out of me while I'm playing.
What was the weirdest?
Mine?
What was the most disgusting thing?
I
you
peed a
had?
little bit. You know what happens when you
On
sing?
stage,
You're pushing on your fucking gut.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
peed. I ain't gonna bullshit. I ain't lying to you, motherfucker.
maybe had a couple whiskeys.
I've had some
That's
blood.
That's why the people come to this podcast, for the honesty.
For the honesty.
For the truth.
Actually, I mean the worst. Oh man, this is 2 times already. I've seen this. One time I did it, and I felt fucking horrible, dude. We just got off our first tour. It was October 22nd. It was my birthday, and Kaustik gets home, and I have this thing where I throw my bass back and all this, and I hit a lawn really hard, and I didn't even know I hit him. So I threw the bass back, and it felt like kind of mushy. That's weird. And we were all fucked up, of course. I'm playing, and I look over back, and I was like, I look back, and his whole fucking face is bleeding. I'm like, oh God.
Shit.
And another time, and so he got it stitched up or whatever they did.
Where
and I
did
was
you
like,
hit him? Like,
right in the fucking face, dude. Like right here.
Oh,
I think he still got a scar. I hit him fucking hard too. I still feel bad about it.
Those tuning keys on the bass are huge.
Dude, and then another one was Death by Stereo, Ephraim RC. He does this windmill arm thing, right? And I forgot exactly where Bratislava, I believe. And dude, he did this, and JP, our guitar player, he hit his headstock into his fucking eye. Ugh. So again, I'm like looking over, and JP's over here. He's like, over here, I'm playing. I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around, and look, and it looks like he has it was a big gap. I just want to say, it was. I was like, holy shit!
Gash.
And I was like, wow, like what the fuck? Oh, so this chick in front had a bandana. I was like, whoop. To grab the bandana, tied him off right there, and we did a little, field dressing for the rest of the show. Hey, he played the rest of the show, didn't miss a beat.
Nice.
Fucking
Champion.
blood everywhere, dude.
Champion, dude.
Yeah, champ.
Dude, once when I was working at the Glass House, this band called Le Shock.
Okay.
Probably never heard of them, but I haven't heard of them since then. But they were like direct support to somebody I can't remember. But this fucking guy, I remember he throws his fucking bass in the crowd, right at the end of the show, and nails this chick in the fucking face, and she's with like 6 guys. And they were waiting for this motherfucker at the end of the show.
Oh, yeah.
And they were dicks to the whole crew. So our security's like, once you're past the door, you're not our problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the sidewalk, homie.
Yeah. Once you're out the club,
problem now.
Yeah, you're promoting. Dude, that goes for everybody out there. Dude,
Yeah.
take care of the staff at venues.
Fuck yeah.
Always.
Be cool with them, man. They're cool. They're there to help you out.
Yep.
Even if you feel like they're being dicks, they're usually there to help you out.
Yep. Oh,
You know, they're just doing their job,
yeah.
and they will back you up when shit like that
absolutely.
fucking shit goes down, and you're in some weird fucking state or weird country, but dude, you don't want to be alone.
Right.
You know?
No.
Yeah,
No,
some
no.
shit goes down. You're like, fuck, dude. You want some, much love as you can get.
same reason you're nice to wait staff.
Yep.
Don't,
It-
fuck with
absolutely.
wait staff.
Be nice to everybody. Stop being dicks.
Yeah.
That's the main message Robbo wants to send to everyone.
Dude, absolutely.
nice.
You know what? It is my main message. Like, you know, even if you fucking your political affiliation or all, shut the fuck up and be cool, man.
Yep.
Everybody,
Goddamn
be
right.
cool.
Less PC.
More fuck you.
That's right. I fucking love that. When you guys came out with that, I was like, oh,
My favorite line is I'd actually just posted this before the song was written. I was like, hey, before you build a wall, how about you finish the 5 freeway? So I put it at the end of the song. And I also put one of my grandpa's quotes in there. Was bury me face down so you can kiss my ass. Is my favorite one. Yeah,
that's a good one.
yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. It's just, especially when we were writing that album, like man, dude, this whole people are fucking weird, man. Hey, dude, you be all about you, you know. It's cool, but like you.
Be all about
It's
you.
tough.
Just don't try and force anyone else. to be
Yeah,
like
man,
you.
like
How about that?
stuffing everybody's agenda down everyone else's throat. Like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Well, dude, like like it's weird that like people make their personality engaged in politics. Like who they are
Oh yeah.
is bitching about
Dude,
that shit.
you are dead right, and that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I remember before you were a Democrat. Or I remember before you were a Republican. I remember before you were this or that and the other. Like, or you were just a dude, or you were just a person. Like, you were my friend, or you were this.
You
Yeah, I
like
see-
you like music and food. We talked about things.
Yeah, we talked about stuff other than bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's weird. There's a good thing though. I mean, I think you get to see some of the weirdos. You know, you
Right.
really get to see some weird. You get to see who's racist or not. I mean,
Right.
You know,
True
like
colors.
there's no fucking fence walking, man. You're either a racist or you're not. You know, bottom line. And yeah, I see some of them. I'm like, yeah, it's a damn shame. Delete.
Right.
Yeah.
Later. Hey, I'm glad I figured that out about you.
Right.
Later.
Dude, I have a joke that I always say to all my Mexican homies is like, I can't afford to be racist against Mexicans in California. I'm fucking surrounded.
Yeah, dude, you can't.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, there's just so many other proper ways to go about things
Right.
instead of being a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone stop being fucking assholes. Seriously.
Yep.
You
That's the fucking main message.
It is.
We're perfectly through a fucking hour. We get to wrap this up now, man.
Oh, rad. Cool.
Yeah, dude. Well, thank you so much for fucking coming by.
Well, he's
This
got to
is
do his
really-
plugs first.
Well,
give me,
yeah.
give me,
Yeah.
give me
If
all
you-
the
if
the
you'd like
social
to
plugs.
finish.
All the plugs.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'd
anything
like to
and
thank,
everything you got right now.
Schecter Guitars for taking care of me for the last 10 years. I'd like to thank Dean Markley for strings, Learn to Forget for all the cool threads, and Prisoners of Ink. Who else? Let's keep going. Everybody, all you guys, rock and roll
Yeah.
for bringing us all
Yes.
together. And all our friends bands, fucking Internal Corrosion, Rark. Who else? Keep going.
Oh,
Spades
shit.
and Blades.
Yeah,
Fucking
Spades.
keep going. Dude, Slow Forward, one of my favorites.
Slow forward.
Yep.
That's
New
us.
Kaustik album coming out. New Death by Stereos happening now. So that'll be out soon.
What's Kaustik's website?
Kaustikband.com.
And does DBS just have DBS?
I think deathbystereo.com. I'm sure.
Death by fucking
Yeah,
Stereo.
Death by Stereo. Oh, Rock and Roll Wrestling Bash coming out hard at you. New Die by the Sword Slayer tribute. Come out and have some fun.
Yes, go see my buddy Bob.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
tear
Yeah,
that shit up.
Bob, dude. We got Bob from Kilix, man.
Oh,
Fucking
nice.
Bob. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So any major shows or anything coming up right now?
Dude,
Do
we
you
got
guys
a bunch of
have
shit.
anything-
A lot of things are out of town. I was trying to look up all my fucking tour
Right.
dates, but we're coming at you, Australia. So Australia,
Any of our
Europe.
listeners in Australia? If you
Hell
guys,
yeah.
if you guys
Down
out
under,
there.
we're coming for you. We're coming for your meat pies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fuck yeah. Well, thank
Killer,
you so
dude.
much for doing this, Robbo.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for
That's
having me.
it.
Thanks for coming.
And as usual, again, if all our listeners, please check out our website, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes. Please review, rate, subscribe,
All
and
that.
everything. Thank you very much.
See you
Thank
next
you
week.
again, Robbo.
Fuck
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.